8:22 on this Thursday. Good morning and welcome to the Hometown Morning Show with Tori and Kyle in studio guests. I have Emil. Emil is here from Solar Energy Partners, and he is going to tell us all about some solar energy stuff that we don't know. But first things first, good morning, Emil. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing really well, Tori. How are you?
I'm doing great. You told me off air you used to be a DJ. What?
Yep. I used to be a nightclub DJ as well as a radio a long time ago.
Spinning the discs, huh?
Since 1981.
Okay, but now you are all solar energy.
I am, absolutely.
And the popularity of solar energy has kicked up in the last, I would say, maybe 10 years. Would you say about that?
Absolutely, since 10 years, but solar energy has been around since the 1950s. In fact, the White House got their first set of solar panels.
It's always the White House. It's always the White House, isn't it?
But as of last 3.5, 4 years ago, financing companies for solar finally got their act together. So they're really basically helping homeowners to get into it without any money down out of their pocket.
We're going to talk about that in just a second because I have questions. More and more I see around town. We see the panels on the homes. What scares me a little bit, I currently do not, and I'm extremely interested in this. But I worry about the tile roofs. How do you make that happen on tile?
Well, the panels don't sit on the tile. The panels actually, we put footers on the 2x4s on the roof, and we get them really, really nice and tight, and then we water seal them. We test them, then we put the tiles around the footers. On the footers, you put the railings, and the actual panels sit on the railings rather than the tile.
So no broken tiles?
Well, once in a while we get a few, but we replace them right away. So we actually have a whole, all of our installers have yards and, of tiles ready to go, just extra because it happens.
Right. I mean, the whole Santa Clarita Valley is just tile roofs, right? It's not like, back in the 70s where those roofs it looked like gravel on those roofs. Do you ever encounter something like that?
I actually live in an older neighborhood, so they have all kinds of gravel stuff on it,
It's just like the weirdest looking thing. But I just recently saw on TikTok, I saw a picture of a solar company laying panels on an arbor.
Right.
Is this, what's going on there? Talk to me.
Well, as long as the structure that we have is permitted, the city has permitted it, we are okay with it because whatever makes sense for the homeowner. Some homeowners are adamant about not having panels on the tile, which we don't, but they're just, But we're okay with putting it on, gazebos and on arbors if there's enough room. Unfortunately, we have to adhere to the fire setback rules. So we are pretty limited as to where we can put it, and we're super professional about it. And whatever we do, it has to be done the professional way, correct way.
Okay, so another question, follow-up question to that. If you do something like that on an arbor, usually arbors are flat. So do you tip it at one side so like the rain can fall off or something?
Absolutely.
Is that what happens?
Oh, yeah. We have technologies that actually have been perfected almost to the T, and they have a tilt. They actually will raise it, lower it, whatever they have to do to get the optimum amount of sun.
And because now that is just so attractive to me. Because even though you're telling me right now, very few tiles get broken and all that kind of stuff. You know how, listen, homeowners, we're picky, man. You know us, right?
Well, the thing is, we don't, like I said, we don't put the panels on the tiles, and we are super careful about it.
I know.
I think we're building a whole power plant on the roof, right? However, we get maybe 5 or 6 tiles that might crack, but we replace them because we know exactly where we're walking. And obviously, the guys who do it, they know exactly how to walk around the valleys and and not to step on the top part. And they have whole, like I said, yards and yards of, tiles, extra tiles.
What do you do for the homeowner who is super interested in something like this, but just doesn't necessarily like the look, or maybe doesn't want it on the front of the home? Can you do it on the back of the home? Like, what are some options as far as aesthetics?
Right. So that's a good question. We actually work with the homeowners to please them. And even though we tell them our recommendations, if a homeowner is adamant about not having the front of the house, we don't put them on the front of the house. But there is a sacrifice that has to be made, which is if you don't get enough sun on the other sides of the house, you have to have more panels to offset what we were going to give you with less panels.
Gotcha.
For production. So.
Gotcha. So, okay. So then let's move ahead.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm interested in this, but I need you to come out. I'm not quite there yet.
Honestly, everybody should be interested in this.
Oh, so, very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Because if I could have my pool heater on 24/7, so I could go in the pool 24/7,
Yeah.
I would do it. But it's so
Absolutely.
expensive.
Yep.
It is so expensive.
Well, we have solutions for that too. We actually have identified a whole bunch of electric pool warmers that actually don't work obviously with gas, because that gas is super expensive now. And we can actually do calculations so that you can have that. In fact, my own brother's house is done like that way. And he has sciatic nerve areas in the lower back, and he couldn't do anything else except swim. And now he can swim anytime he wants. The water is always nice and warm for him.
I feel your brother with that
Yep.
sciatica after having a baby. I feel your bro. I
Yep.
feel him. I got him.
So there's all kinds of solutions available. We just have to have an opportunity to explain them.
Could you come out to someone's home free of charge and explain these things?
Absolutely. That we always we don't have any charge for consultation. We have we don't have to. We're not the typical salespeople. We're sales consultant. We don't
Okay.
pressure anybody. We don't have to. This stuff sells itself.
Sure.
Once I show you the savings, you'll be like, why didn't I do this years ago? It's truly, that's exactly how it happens.
Everyone
We
says
show
that,
you-
everyone says that,
yeah.
right?
I don't like to talk smack about utilities, but unfortunately, when you move into a house, you don't have any choice. You basically are stuck with what the utility is right there.
Do you think future homes being built will incorporate maybe solar paneling at some point? Do
Well,
you
they
think
have
that's-
to. By state law, SB 100 passed a few years ago. Governor Brown actually wrote that into law, or signed it into law. SB 100 is called Renewable Energy Act, and by 2020, every home, in order to get a permit, you had to have at least half of its energy coming from a renewable energy source, which in the cities, urban areas, is basically solar panels. Because you can't have wind turbines in the backyard, and last time I checked, we can't really have a Hoover Dam in the backyard either. So,
I don't think we have the room.
right?
I don't think we have the room. We can always try.
Exactly.
Emil, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I wish we had more time to talk. SolarEnergy.partners. That's where you go. SolarEnergy.partners. You can find out all the information. If you have questions, not a problem, because there's a text thread, a chat window that you can ask questions, or you can contact them directly by phone. Go to SolarEnergy.partners. Emil, you're the best.
Thank you so much, Tori. You too.